We have quorum. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is Councillor Bly online?
Councillor Bly, do you mind turning on your camera? There you are. Thank you very much.
All right. Actually, we'll give these guys maybe one more minute. They're doing an interview here, so. Yeah. Sorry, guys. All right, good morning and welcome to the Vancouver City Council meeting of Tuesday, April the 1st, 2025. Now, this council meeting is being convened in person and by electronic means as authorized under Part 14 of the procedure bylaw. City of Vancouver electronic meetings, as such, council members and the public may participate in person or by electronic means. If a council member attending by electronic means loses connection during the voting process, team members are available to get you back online quickly while the voting process is suspended. The team members' contact information has been circulated to you. 1, 2. Video of council members speaking, presentations, and vote results will be projected on the live stream when available. Council members are reminded that in accordance with section 14.13 of the procedure bylaw, members must enable their video to confirm quorum. In case of an emergency, where we need to evacuate the building, I'd like to direct your attention to the exits. There are 2 exits beyond the glass doors and to the left. If the glass doors are obstructed, please direct your attention to the 4 exits in this chamber. Please use the stairs, do not use the elevator. If you require accessibility assistance, please remain at your location and wait for a security team member to guide you to a safe location. I'd also like to highlight the fact that there is the defibrillator at the end of the hallway here. I also want to acknowledge that we are hosting today's council meeting on the unceded territories of the Musqueam, Squamish, and Tsleil-Waututh First Nations, and I want to thank them for their generosity and their hospitality and the love and care they show this land that we get to live, work, and play on. And I do think it's incumbent upon all of us to unlearn what we've learned in the past, learn the true history as to what's happened on these lands, and you know what? We do that, we're going to build an incredibly bright future for all of us. And finally, I'd love to acknowledge the immense contributions of our incredible team throughout the city of Vancouver, the people that choose, they don't have to, they choose to apply their trade at the city of Vancouver. And I can tell you from firsthand experience, super proud of our teammates, work super hard with passion. They love our city, and we're just blessed to have them be part of our team. So with that, clerk, can we please have a roll call?
Yes, Mayor Sim is in the chair. Councillor Kirby-Young. Councillor Dominato has a leave of absence. Councillor Bly.
Present.
Councillor Fry has a leave of absence. Councillor Montague.
Present.
Councillor Klassen.
Present.
Councillor Meisner.
Present.
Councillor Joe.
Present.
You have quorum, Mayor Sim.
Great, thank you very much. So it's my great pleasure to be able to recognize the celebration of Eid al-Fitr this past weekend, a joyous occasion marking the end of Ramadan. The literal Arabic translation of Eid means feast or festival, where thousands of people from Vancouver's Muslim community and millions of Muslims throughout the world will wake early to perform a special prayer known as Salat al-Eid. The Salat al-Eid is a prayer of gratefulness. Following morning prayer, this day is filled with people exchanging greetings and giving to charity. Over several days, families and friends gather to enjoy festive meals, exchange gifts, and spread peace, joy, and goodwill. In 2022, Vancouver City Council proudly passed a motion to add Eid al-Fitr to the city's list of official celebrations and observances. This decision reflects our commitment to honoring the rich cultural diversity that strengthens our city. Today, we acknowledge our Muslim community, recognizing the values of compassion, generosity, and resilience that Eid al-Fitr represents. On behalf of the City of Vancouver, I extend my warmest wishes to all those celebrating Eid Mubarak. Okay, there we go. Okay. So now the plan for today is any comments on agenda items can be sent to council using the web form on the city's website. The link to that form will be posted on X at Van City Clerk. I also want to note the City of Vancouver's longstanding commitment to equity, diversity, and inclusion, including the utmost respect for all genders. I remind Council that when addressing speakers and the City's team members, we will avoid using gendered honorifics and will instead refer to the person by first and last name, role, or title. Today, we have 3 administrative items: in-camera motion, adoption of minutes and matters adopted on consent, 2 reports, 19 bylaws, 1 administrative motion, notice of council member motions, new business, and inquiries and other matters. So the plan for today, convene the in-camera meeting following the completion of council today. In camera, council is required to meet in camera later this week. The reasons and authority under the Vancouver Charter are listed in the agenda. Would someone like to move to a motion to move in camera? Thank you, Councillor Claassen, seconded by Councillor Joe. All those in favor say yay. All those opposed say nay. Great, the motion carries unanimously. Minutes. Minutes 1 are from the Special Council Business License Hearing meeting on March the 5th, 2025. Are there any corrections to the minutes? Would someone like to move a motion for adoption? Great, thank you, Councillor Meisner, seconded by Councillor Montague. All those in favor say yay. All those opposed say yay. Nay. The motion carries unanimously. Minutes 2 are from the council meeting on March the 11th, 2025. Are there any corrections to the minutes? Would someone like to move? Councillor Claassen, thank you. Seconded, Councillor, sorry, we have people in the queue here. Is that fine or?
Yeah, Mayor,
That's for
I had a point of procedure, I guess. I'm wondering, just since we have such a strong turnout and the community are still here, and now we've officially convened the council meeting, if we could recess for a few minutes just so we could thank our
I
guests.
think that would be a wonderful idea. Would someone like to second? Councillor Claassen, all those in, sorry, is there any discussion? No. Why don't we recess for
10 minutes?
10 minutes? Great. Okay, all those in favor say yay.
Yay.
All those opposed say nay. Great. We will recess this meeting for 10 minutes.
Councillor Bly, do you mind turning on your camera just to reach quorum?
Great. Thank you, everyone.
I'm
And
happy to have my camera on, but I will just, I'm happy that, sorry, Mayor, didn't mean to interrupt. I didn't realize we were back. Are we back?
we're back.
Okay, just on a point of privilege, I just noticed that comment for my camera to be on to have quorum. I'll just note I do have an LOA for today, so I will have to drop off. But I'm not sure if I'm counted for quorum today or not. But
We have quorum now. Yep. Awesome. Thank you very much,
Great. Thank
Councillor
you.
Bly. Okay, and thank you for to everyone in this chamber and everyone who's watching online or viewing online for allowing us to have that break to recognize and celebrate Sikh Heritage Month with the community here. Okay, so we are going to go through minutes 2 again because it seems like we did not finish it. So minutes 2 are from the council meeting on March the 11th, 2025. Are there any corrections to the minutes? Would someone like to move a motion? Councillor Joe, thank you. Seconded by Councillor Kirby Young. All those in favor say yay. All those opposed say nay. Great. The motion carries unanimously. Minutes 3 are from the public hearing meeting on March the 11th, 2025. Are there any corrections to the minutes? Would someone like to move?
So moved.
Great. Councillor Meisner, seconded by Councillor Montague. All those in favor say yay. All those opposed say nay. Great, the motion carries unanimously. Minutes 4 from the council meeting following the Standing Committee on City Finance and Services on March the 12th, 2025. Are there any corrections to the minutes? Would someone like to move? Councillor Kirby Young, thank you. Councillor Joe, seconded, thank you. All those in favor say yay. All those opposed say nay. Great, the motion carries unanimously. Minutes 5 are from the public hearing on March the 13th, 2025. Are there any corrections? Someone like to move? Councillor Montague, thank you. Councillor Klassen, seconded. Thank you very much. All those in favor say yay. All those opposed say nay. Great, the motion carries unanimously. Now, council will now consider matters adopted on consent. We have communication 1 and reports 1 and 2 on the consent agenda for council's consideration. Council may adopt the recommendations for communication 1 and reports 1 and 2 on consent. Does any member wish to hold any of the items for debate or questions to team members? Councillor Meisner.
Yeah, thanks, Mayor. I'd like to hold report 1, please.
Report 1. Okay. Thank you very much. Okay. Seeing no one else on the queue, before we consider the consent agenda, if anyone believes that they have a conflict of interest, now is the time to declare it. Does anyone have a conflict to declare? Okay, great. So we have communication 1 and report number 2 for the consent approval. Would someone like to move adoption of the recommendations before council contained in the communication and the report? Councillor Kirby Young, seconded by Councillor Klassen. All those in favor say yay. All those opposed say nay. Great, the motion carries unanimously. So the following have been approved on consent. We have communication number 1, change to council meeting schedule, and report number 2, annual welfare grant. Oh, sorry, report number 2, 2025 annual, or sorry, not annual, animal welfare grant. Sorry. I just got that one completely wrong like 3 times. So I think we're good now. Okay, so communication number 1, skip. Okay. Report number 1, strata title conversion of 4288 U Street. Before we begin this agenda item, if anyone believes that they have a conflict of interest, now is the time to declare it. Does anyone have a conflict to declare? Nope. Seeing none. This item does not have a presentation. Council members, you have up to 5 minutes to ask questions of team members. Are there any questions? And Councillor Meisner, you are on the queue.
Yeah, thanks. I had a couple questions about this. It is, I believe, relatively unusual. My first question is, how often does this happen? I think on council, this is the first time I've seen such a conversion like this for a relatively recently constructed building.
Hi, good morning. Thanks for your question, Councillor Meisner. My name is Michelle Au. I'm the Director of Permitting Services and Subdivision Approving Officer. This is an unusual report that we don't usually receive. It is because the the parcel was intended to be stratified to begin with, and they did not meet the 180-day signing requirement at LTO, so they had to redo the stratification plan. In order for them to do that, they'd already rented out all the units in the building, and that's why it has to be reviewed by council today.
Okay. So we did receive some correspondence from the public mentioning about the development permit staff report, I guess at the time when the building was about to be constructed. And I haven't seen it myself, but maybe you can confirm. Apparently it says the building was a 7-story mixed-use building containing 170 residential rental dwellings. So I guess my question, you just mentioned that the intention was always to stratify these units. Just wondering why the staff report at that time would, specifically indicate that these were rental units.
The other two parcels are rental, and they have a housing agreement that is in perpetuity. And this one is actually a market housing building. And then Larco basically is the owner, and they usually do rent their properties out, but they're not required to be rental.
Sorry, did you say Larco is the owner of the building? Okay. But did you have a response to my comment about the staff report saying that it was intended to be 170 residential rental dwellings? Apparently that's the language from the staff report. The development permit report from the time of the building. I don't have it, unfortunately, but we did receive some correspondence about it. I can move on. I have some other questions if you like.
Yeah, maybe we can get back to you on that.
That would be great. My other question was around, okay, so they'll remain tenanted till 2031, is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, and then at that time, what will tenants be entitled to in terms of that tenancy coming to an end? What are the provisions for, is there a agreement? Are they entitled to the Broadway TRPP? Like, what does that look like?
I think because they do not, there's no requirement for them to be rental currently. They can be stratified and sold off at that time.
Okay. So what do tenants receive?
They would be entitled to the general provincial TRP.
Okay.
That would be in place for any renters in
Okay.
a unit.
Is this site within the Broadway plan?
No, it's not.
It's not. Okay. Okay. Okay, thanks for that.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Councillor Kirby-Young?
Yeah, there was one question that triggered for me when I read the report, and it was some commentary, and I'm kind of paraphrasing, but with respects to normally there would be a notification period to tenants, but given that it was 2031, staff didn't feel that was necessary. Hopefully I'm reflecting that correctly. If that's the case, I guess I'm just wondering, are tenants aware, and why would we not let them know even if it's sort of 6 years out until this would take effect?
Yes, so basically we placed a 10-year housing agreement, which is not a requirement if they were able to stratify on time within the 180 days. So this is beyond what they would normally have been required for this particular building. And so
I guess my question is, I'm very clear on the process around the waiver of the BC housing, the insurance, all of those pieces that I understand. I guess I'm just asking, it seems that staff have exercised discretion. They don't feel they needed to notify the current residents, and I'm asking philosophically why. I understand the trajectory of the housing agreement and why we got there, but my question is specifically, why did staff feel it's not necessary to notify?
Because normally when we notify for this stratification conversion guidelines, it basically tells the renters, how much they're entitled to in terms of if they want to purchase the unit, and the units currently are not up for purchasing. And also it would just trigger a lot of questions with the renters. And they are actually secured by, to stay there until the duration of the BC housing agreement, which is 2031.
I guess by way of follow-up to that, then did we consider sending a note to let them know the conversion is taking place, but they are secured until 2031? Because I think if I'm there and I hear about it, I find out, maybe I hear the right information, maybe I don't. Maybe I hear, it's 2031, that's a lot of time for me to make plans. Maybe I just hear, our building's been stratified, I don't hear a date, I get worried about it if I'm a current resident. Why wouldn't we just send out a notice providing the facts?
Yeah, I think it's just that we didn't want to worry the tenants.
But they might hear about it. This is a public council meeting and a public item, correct?
Correct. So I think in order to secure, we think that the recommendation basically would be the same recommendation that we would give to council if we were to notify the tenants and there would be concerns. This already covers what we would normally have recommended.
So can I ask a question a different way, just for absolute clarity? It is a judgment call, but it is not a requirement to notify the tenants in this situation. Is that correct?
Yes. So basically, we forego the requirement to that aspect of the strata conversion guidelines.
And we're not.
And in lieu of that, we're requesting for a housing agreement to be made for 10 years.
Okay.
That is a recommendation.
That's it for questions right now, Mayor. I'll wait for debate.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. Okay, there are no speakers for this item, so would someone like to move a motion? Councillor Clausen, seconded by Councillor Joe. Council members, is there any discussion? Councillor Meisner.
Yeah, thanks. I appreciate staff's answers around this, pretty unusual application. I think Councillor Kirby-Young raised some really good points around the notification, and I know if I was in that situation, I would appreciate being notified formally, probably before this council meeting. I think, this is a public council meeting. If that information leaks out, which I'm sure it will, that could cause quite a bit of distress, I think, for the tenants, knowing that they will need to move in 2031. So I have some discomfort with that aspect of this process. Yeah, I just think it's quite an unusual situation. I'm not sure that we've done all the due diligence that we need to as here at the city. So that's my comments for now. I'll leave it there.
Thank you very much, Councillor Meisner, Councillor Kirby-Young.
Yeah, Mayor, I'm going to send it an amendment if you want to move us to amendment queue.
Okay.
And I'm hitting send now, and it simply says, because I think there's what you're legally.
If we can just give me 1 sec here.
Sure.
We'll add Councillor Kirby-Young. Okay, timer started.
Thanks very much, Mayor. The amendment simply says, and I'll read it and then I'll explain my rationale, is further that council directs staff to notify current residents of the change and the security of their tenure as described herein in the report. And the reason I'm doing this is that I think that there is what your kind of procedural or, bylaw or legal obligation, if you want to call it that. And then there is, I think, the right thing to do. And I think when we have public council meetings and given the amount of discussion and conversation around development that's happening in the area and the neighborhood, I'm not going to pass commentary on the particular ownership of this project, but they have come to council's attention before. But I think regardless, generally speaking, I think we should lead by example. And I think notifying people and sending a note, just as was described by our staff, that they have that security of tenure as secured by the housing agreement and described in the report until 2031 would provide me some comfort in hearing something directly and having an official communication versus hearing something third hand or perhaps without all the facts or from my neighbors. And so I just think that honestly, that's the right thing to do. And so I'm going to put that amendment forward for council's consideration. Thank you.
I'll second that.
That's it. You can stop my timer. Thanks.
Great. Council, is there any discussion? Okay, so why don't we put the amendment to a vote? If we can please go to the voting queue. Great, and that passes unanimously. Sorry, is Councillor Bly still on, or is she's off? Great, okay, so that passes unanimously. Thank you very much. So going back to the main queue, Councillor Kirby-Young, do you have any?
I will just say that with that, I'm able to support the report, and I was a bit concerned prior, even though I understood the intention and sort of the legalities around it, but I feel better about supporting it now. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Councillor Meisner.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks to Councillor Kirby-Young for the amendment. She's a faster typer than me. I think that this does give me a bit more comfort in advancing this. So thank you, Councillor Kirby-Young, and I do plan to support it.
Great. Thank you very much. Okay. Seeing no one else in the queue, we're going to now call a vote. If we can go back to the voting panel, please, and if you can register your vote. Great. And once again, that passes as amended. That completes report number 1. And so now we are going to go to bylaws. We have 19 bylaws on the agenda for enactment. Now, before we begin this agenda item, if anyone believes that they have a conflict of interest, now is the time to declare it. Does anyone have a conflict to disclose? Seeing no one in the queue, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have quorum. Oh, great. Thank you. I just wanted to make sure. Cool. Okay. Council members who were absent for the meetings related to public hearing enactment bylaws must confirm that they have reviewed the proceedings of the meetings, including the video clip, to be eligible to vote. Bylaws 1 and 4 were from the public hearing on March the 11th, 2025. Councillor Bly is not online anymore, and either is Councillor Fry. So we can just skip that. Bylaw 9 was from the public hearing on June the 15th, 2023. Myself, I was absent for this item at the public hearing. Well, so was Councillor Bly, but she's not here. So I have not reviewed, and I will not be voting on bylaw number 9. Bylaw 18 was from the public hearing on December the 14th, 2023. I, Mayor Sim, was absent for this item at the public hearing, and I have not reviewed, so I will not be voting on it. I would like to note that bylaws 2 through 5 are subject to the approval of bylaw number 1. Would someone like to move a motion to adopt bylaw number 1? Great, thank you, Councillor Montague, seconded by Councillor Joe. Thank you very much. Council, is there any discussion? Okay, all those in favor say yay. All those opposed say nay. Great, the motion carries unanimously. Would someone like to move the motion to adopt bylaws 2 through 19? Great, Councillor Kirby-Young, seconded by Councillor Joe. Thank you. Is there any discussion, Council? Nope. All those in favor say yay. All those opposed say nay. Great, the motion carries unanimously. The list of approved bylaws can be found on the city's website. Administrative motions. Regulatory, number 1, regulatory changes toward 3331 permitting targets. Before we begin this agenda item, if anyone believes that they have a conflict of interest, now is the time to declare it. Does anybody have a conflict to disclose? Right, seeing none. Council member, are there any questions to team members? Seeing no one in the queue, would someone like to move the motion? Councillor Montague, thank you. Seconded by Councillor Meisner. Council, is there any discussion? Okay, all those in favor say yay. All those opposed say nay. Great, the motion carries unanimously. Okay, notice of council member motions. Are there notices of council member motions for upcoming standing committee meetings? Reminder to please state the title of the motion and the date of the standing committee meeting on which you intend to move the motion, and be sure to send the title and date to the standing committee of the standing committee meeting via email to the city clerk. Councillor Montague.
Thanks, Mayor. It's a notice of motion for standing committee on Wednesday, April 16th. The title is Prohibiting the Sale of Gun-Shaped Lighters and Calling on the Province to Explore Legislation to Ban Gun-Shaped Lighters. And I'm submitting it on behalf of Councillor Klassen.
Great, thank you very much. Seeing no one else in the queue. Sorry, do we have 1, 2? We just lost quorum there. And we have it back, sorry. Thanks. We have one item of new business on the agenda today, requests for leaves of absence. If we can please get that brought up. This motion has been circulated to council at the beginning of the meeting and is available on the screen. Great, thank you very much. Everyone had a chance to review it. Would someone like to move the motion? Great, thank you very much. Seconded by Councillor Montague. Council, is there any discussion? All those in favor say yay. All those opposed say nay. Great, the motion carries unanimously. Council, are there any other items of new business? I see no one else, no one in the queue. So inquiries and other matters. Council, are there any inquiries or other matters? Seeing no one in the queue, going, gone. Okay, adjournment. May we please have a motion to adjourn? Councillor Montague, thank you. Seconded by Councillor Meisner. All those in favor say yay. All those opposed say nay. Great, this meeting is adjourned. Thank you very much.